So, a common conversation I hear happening around the table in the middle of people's recovery is price comparisons. Now, we have to understand that everybody comes with a different amount of stuff in their bag, right? Essentially, our health is different. Everybody's different. Our BMIs are different. Sometimes our surgeons are different. So sometimes, even though we're staying in the same recovery house, we're being offered different packages or we're being offered different promotions. Maybe we were able to take advantage of different sales at different times. And so my biggest suggestion is, although you may share stuff and you may want to share what you paid or vice versa, I think you've got to be mindful that not everybody's the same, not everybody's package is the same, and sometimes it sucks, but not everybody catches the same promotions. For example, let's talk about massages. Massages get a bad. I broke my nail. Ignore that. They get a bad rap, right, for having different pricing. Now, we all know that in the States, a massage is anywhere from $90 to $100 a session, 45 minutes, 60 minutes max, right? Sometimes it's even more than that, depending on what kind of interventions you have involved, like radio frequency or ultrasound or wood therapies or whatever else you haven't done, right? But let's get back to post-op real quick. So for manual lymphatic drainage massages, you absolutely need materials like oil or creams, right? But you also need needles, you need chucks, you need sometimes more than one person, right? And so if you are dealing with a patient who is either delicate in health or maybe has a high BMI, then you are dealing with different circumstances that require different resources. So sometimes services that are being provided to different people cost more money because they require more things. A high BMI patient, for example, instead of a patient like myself or a patient who maybe has a max BMI of 33, 34, is going to use maybe 1 to 2 chucks in a massage, is going to use one needle, maybe two in a massage. A high BMI mama who is maybe 40 BMI or more, because I've had up to 50 BMI at my recovery, is like, those patients tend to use 2, 3, 4 chucks. Those patients tend to use 3 needles, 4 needles sometimes, up to 5 needles sometimes in a session, based on how much they clot, how much they're leaking or draining, how much, that's the right word, draining, how much they weigh. I mean, all of these things, play a role. So for example, if you are a skinny mini, a little teeny person like me, if this is your arm, you can probably find a shirt like this for $2 or $3.99, right? But if you're looking for plus size clothes, they're gonna cost you a little bit more. Why? Just because in general, the resources, it takes more resources to make, it takes longer to produce, it takes more packaging, just in general. So the same thing counts. And then when you're talking about manual labor with a person that is providing this service, again, for an extended amount of time, you have to consider that more body is more weight. So when you have a regular person size, or where you have like the norm, not regular person, but where you have the size of a person that is generally getting operated, which is usually up to like a 34, 35 BMI, you have one type of a body style. Once you're dealing with BMIs that are 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 45, 47, 48, 49, those are much bigger surfaces of body to cover, much harder, much more weight. And so, again, they do have a little bit of a bigger price. And I don't think that there should be anything that offends anybody. I just think that we need to be realistic. And people may give me crap about this, but at the end of the day, people think about businesses like brick buildings, and we are people. We're not millionaires. Nobody in plastic surgery recovery are millionaires. None of us are millionaires. None of us are getting filthy rich off of this. We do most of this out of the love that we have for the industry, for the girls, for the change. Because trust me, we got a lot of crap about a lot of things unnecessarily, especially from a lot of the peanut gallery who aren't even our clients. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, you got to know that the real is the real, and I'm always going to bring it to you that way. So if you have questions, leave them below. I'm happy to talk about them.